I don't know how you're sitting down right now. Tomorrow is the big show. Tomorrow is the moment we've all been waiting for. And it is more than okay. It is acceptable. In fact, it is encouraged to get freaking hyped and pumped up for what is going to go down as one of the best Nintendo Directs to ever hit the screens. I'm sick of the expectations in check. I'm sick of it's the end of the generation. No, we're talking Donkey Kong. We're talking Metroid. We're talking 2D Zelda. This is going to be monumental. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. This is your opportunity to get the energy flowing, to get your nerves a little bit peaked, to get everything a little bit higher up, okay? Nintendo is dropping a Direct, their June Direct, one of their only Directs that they themselves leaked. Remember, Furukawa said June Direct. When was the last time the president of Nintendo announced the Direct? Before the leakers? Before the Twitter? Before the YouTubers? I can't remember. This Direct is huge. And you think Nintendo might go out soft. You think they might go out slow. You think they might say, well, it's just one more year. No! Nintendo knows that transition is everything. They know that what got them in this position was starting the year off, starting the generation off with a bang. And they're going to start and end the same way. Bang, bang, bang. This final lineup for the fall of 2024 and maybe early 2025 is going to blow you away. I'll be streaming the thing at 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. I got energy for all of you, whether it's early, middle, or late in your day. This is the Direct we've been waiting for. I am predicting a glorious showing, 40 minutes of non-stop bangers. Nintendo has not dropped first-party announcements since September. Okay, Nintendo World Championships doesn't really count. That's like a not even full-price game. And for Nintendo, if it's not full price, they basically don't consider it is existing. So, first time in 9 months that we're getting first-party big announcements. That's crazy. How long has it been since Nintendo went that long? Not since Direct started. This is the biggest gap between General Directs, and we are in for an absolute feasting. Let's talk about the big predictions and what's going to be there. And I don't want to say, oh, it's going to be a weak Mario sports title. It's going to be a weak Mario Party. No, it's going to be a big, bold Donkey Kong game. We've heard 2D, we've heard 3D. And I think with the rumors of a 2D Zelda, which we will get to, there's a chance this is a 3D DK. There's also a chance that this is a platformer's dream, being the perfect 2D title after the already perfect, quirky, crazy, innovative, and amazing Super Mario Odyssey. Can Tropical Freeze be topped? What happens when you heat up the tropics? Tropical Fire. King K. Rool is bringing the flame to the island, and we're going to get an absolutely saucy Donkey Kong game. DK debuting on Switch in the last year of the system is no accident. It's no mistake. Donkey Kong gained popularity with his Seth Rogen movie debut. He's gaining popularity with theme park reveals and huge theme park expansions in both Japan, Tokyo, and Florida, Orlando. DK has a chance to be a really big title for Nintendo nostalgic fans and new Nintendo fans and Mario Bros. Movie fans who don't even play the games. Yes, that's definitely at least one or maybe two people. Now, DK might not be for everybody, but Zelda pretty much is. Zelda has become one of Nintendo's most amazing franchises this generation. Insane sales, insane creativity, and they have done a lot to take Zelda from here to here. I'm not talking about Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, although I think there's a chance of those appearing. I think it's lower than the chance of 2D Zelda. We've got the big rumor of 2D Zelda featuring Princess Zelda as the main character. Do you know how crazy that is? Do you know how exciting that is? People poo-pooed the Peach game because it was more for kids, but a Zelda game featuring Zelda that is puzzle-centric and 2D and all sorts of awesome on the Switch as the first original 2D title for Nintendo Switch in the Zelda universe, that's a miracle. That is a big game, a huge game, and a momentous game. And if we can take some of the quirkiness of games like Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks and mix that with the awesomeness of Link's Awakening and Link Between Worlds and Link to the Past, but it's Zelda to the past, Zelda between worlds, Zelda. The first Zelda that's actually about Zelda. The parents will not be confused anymore. That's a big deal. That's a big seller. That's a huge game. That is worth getting excited for. Zelda and DK in the same Direct after a new 2D Zelda and a new DK have not appeared all generation. We're already talking about a generational Direct. People out here saying, Zach, you got to remember this is Nintendo. They won't do the cool stuff. They won't do the great stuff. They're coasting to the finish line. No. I am ready to up my anticipation to 11. 11 is where I'm standing for this direct because I believe in Nintendo. I believe what they've set up, and I believe in the scenario that they have placed us in themselves, consciously and intentionally, where we don't know what's going on. We don't know what games are coming. We don't know what they're going to release. We currently have nothing we can even pre-order. Nothing. Luigi's Mansion 2 is out next week. We can't. Nothing. You can't pre-order nothing. So we need to know from Nintendo what they're going to decide and design for our future. And are they going to design a weak future, a lame future? No. 140 million people to sell to, and they're going to release weak games? No. Great games. Piero has been teasing an Ace Attorney title. That's monumental. If we get something from the Ace Attorney franchise, ooh, we're dipping in to the crowd that likes more of the niche stuff. We're dipping into the handheld audience. And then we've got the home console audience, which would not be covered maybe by DK or 2D Zelda. That seems more like a handheld audience. So what are they going to bring for the home console audience? I think a Mario Party is going to be here, and I think it's going to be a big one. I don't think it's going to be a cash-in. I don't think it's going to be a phone-in. I think it's going to be a full evolution of Super Mario Party. Super Mario Party had great ideas, but Super Mario Party didn't really reach its potential. Mario Party Superstars is actually the best Mario Party game of the generation, but that's tying back to the old. That's just bringing what was old and making it new again, but it's still old, but it looks new again. But it added online, and that alone made it amazing. Online from the start. Super Mario Party added it later, but this time, Super Mario Party 2 will have online from the jump and be ready to reveal an amazing multiplayer experience. Now, if you like nostalgic things, that's fine, because I think Switch Online is also going to have a big showing. And I think this is where Nintendo stops being cute. They stop being funny. They stop holding back some of their bigger titles. I don't know. Maybe the Pokemon games are in the cards. Maybe a bunch of DK64 type titles are in the cards. Nintendo is ready to bring their big guns out. They are ready to clear the slate. They've got it clear. They are ready to fill that slate. And don't get me started on Metroid Prime 4. Whether Metroid Prime 4 releases 2024 or 2025, whether it's a cross-gen title or just a Switch 1 exclusive, this is the biggest game of the generation for Nintendo. Maybe not in sales, maybe not in popularity, but in terms of the entire emotional roller coaster that we've been through for the last 7 years, this is it. This is the one. For Metroid Prime 4 alone, this Direct is already top 3. Already, if it has Metroid Prime 4, it's top 3. And then you add in some of these other things, I think this could be the best Direct we've ever had. I think this could be the best Direct, let me say it again, we've ever had. Metroid Prime 4 is legendary. Metroid Prime 4 is something that just stands in the ether and it waits to be revealed. And it gets rebooted. And Nintendo apologizes. And it doesn't show up ever again. How many games do you know that were announced 7+ years ago that have not shown up since? I can't think of another one. Freaking crazy, freaking cool, and Nintendo delivering on all that epicness out of this world. Speaking of epicness, what about Shadow Drops? Nintendo has a chance to do something awesome yet again, and they've been utilizing their GameCube titles as the perfect fuel for our gaming fire. We get a GameCube title, we get a real Switch title later in the year. We get a GameCube title, we get a chance to experience nostalgia and plan for the future. They did it with Metroid Prime Remastered. Gorgeous game, maybe the best Switch game actually released that year. Scores say it. Pikmin 1 and 2 into a beautiful, bold, best Pikmin ever, Pikmin 4. This time they could do Metroid Prime 2. They could do Metroid Prime 3. They could do Luigi's Mansion 1. They could do F-Zero GX. They could even do, if they really desired, Wind Waker. Yes, Wind Waker is a GameCube game, and maybe they feel like they just want to release that thing as a stealth drop. You heard it here first. I'm not promising it. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But what if one of those Zelda's games was actually the stealth drop? Not the 2D, but one of those old Zelda games that we've all been waiting for. That is a possibility. That is potential. And I think Plucky Squire is going to be your big indie drop. Devolver Digital notably left that game absent and out of their summer direct presentation of their own. They gave release dates for other games. They gave updates on new titles. They gave DLC from Call of the Lamb. They said nothing about Plucky Squire, but we know it's 2024. That feels like the perfect Nintendo game. It's basically Mario Odyssey, but with a cuter main character. And they were inspired by Mario Odyssey. And it feels like the perfect fit for Nintendo Switch. So tomorrow, if we get to play Plucky Squire again, we're already in huge stellar territory. Did I mention the franchises that some of you on the eastern side of gaming might prefer, like Dragon Quest III HD, Dragon Quest II HD, Dragon Quest HD, because they might be giving us all three in the same package. How about a new Fire Emblem game? How about Kid Icarus Uprising? Do you see what I'm saying here? Nintendo has set up that every pocket of Nintendo fandom is going to be fed in some way or another. You might get a Zelda game, a DK game, a Fire Emblem game, and you might get a nostalgic game. You might get a Dragon Quest game, a Fire Emblem game, a Mario Party game. Everybody is going to eat at this Direct because there's no time to mess around. There's no time to go over titles that have already been announced. There's no time to re-air weird, slightly different trailers to highlight the same points they've highlighted over and over again. They've passed through the DLC of all their games like Pokemon and Splatoon 3 and all of that. It's over. It's time for new. It's time for exciting. And everything they announce has a big impact because everything they announce is coming out this year. Like I said, maybe they tease Metroid Prime 4 and it's for 2025. That's okay. If we get DK and 2D Zelda, I'll take that trade. Or I'll take Metroid Prime 4. Or I'll take all three. There is a chance that we walk out of tomorrow feeling like this. Zelda, DK, Metroid Prime. How do you top that? How do you beat that? How can you say another Direct is better? Farm Sim Direct, do you remember that one? JRPG Direct, I know that's just about every single one, and if you love JRPGs, you're eating well, but if you don't, it seems kind of boring. Third parties might be a bit of a letdown. I think third parties might be a letdown tomorrow, but I think that's actually great news for Nintendo. They can't say, well, we have these third-party games. They can only say, we've got ourselves to blame. If the Direct in June is not good, it's because Nintendo didn't make it good. And I think that kind of pressure, that kind of anticipation, and that kind of just absolute who knows is the best case scenario. And notice this, no massive leaks are out there. Previously, Piora was like, here's the Direct. Let me dole it out to you. Let me give you the actual footnotes so you know exactly what's there. And now, we don't got that. We've got a little tease for Ace Attorney. Papagenos is really big on his 2D Zelda. Everybody thinks Donkey Kong is going to show up. Everybody thinks Metroid Prime is going to show up. But we really don't know. We don't have big leaks. And you can say this is because Nintendo has no plans. Their plans are so small, nothing is leaked out. But I think it's the opposite. I think this is the let's go out with a bang, fireworks spectacular that we've been waiting for. They went last. They wanted to have the final say because Summer Games Fest, let's face it, was a bit of a letdown. The Xbox Showcase had a lot of hype and a lot of hope and a lot of future titles, but what's coming out this year? Not a ton. Whose year is this year to claim? Nintendo. Who has the only chance to make this fall amazing? Nintendo. You've got Assassin's Creed. You've got Lego Horizon, which by the way is on Switch. Pause. Shift course. Tangent. Nintendo is getting a Sony first-party game, and people are like, let's keep our expectations in check for this Direct. Do you realize where Nintendo's at right now? The best console they've ever had, the best monetary position they've ever had, the best mindshare position they've ever had, and they're snatching games from Xbox and Sony willingly. Those companies are publishing their titles on Nintendo with their logos. How insane is that? And did you think we'd ever get there? The answer is no. We had a Wii U 7 years ago, and nobody thought Nintendo might even make it into the following generation that we're all so hyped for. Nintendo can say no mention of Switch 2, and that again should show you how great this Direct is about to be. They don't need the Switch 2. They don't need third parties. They don't need nothing. They confidently announced a June Direct. They're ready to go. Hollow Knight Silksong may be there. Again, I don't know that the game's going to be there. That one feels like the biggest wild card because who knows what's going on in Bug's life if that's there again. How is this not a top 3 Direct? You've got so many games that if even half of them appear, we are in such good shape. There's been some slight rumors about a new Kirby game. Maybe it's a Kirby remake. Beautiful. I would so much rather Kirby take the remastered slot than DK. That sounds amazing. Much rather Kirby take the remastered slot than Mario Party. Fire Emblem might take a remaster slot, fine by me. People have a lot of nostalgic love for Fire Emblem, a lot of games that have not made it big time in the franchise. Perfect. That's great. Leaves more room for the goods. Metroid, Zelda, and DK as the big trio of new titles that the Switch gets announced tomorrow is legendary, is revolutionary. Get excited, because guess what? Even if the show sucks, even if it's the worst Direct, which it won't be, even if it is, at least you were excited for 24 hours. At least you were drinking the Nintendo Kool-Aid for 24 hours. And let me tell you, it tastes delicious. Do you want to drink the no expectations Kool-Aid? Not hoping for anything Kool-Aid? Worried we might not get any of our dream games Kool-Aid. You know what that Kool-Aid tastes like? Disgusting. 24 hours of, well, it might be okay. Or 24 hours of, let's believe in the beautiful, the big, the bold, the bombastic. That's what we're going to get tomorrow. And when we do, it's going to feel so good. As a Nintendo fan that freaked out when the Switch dropped, as a Nintendo fan that freaked out when Mario Odyssey got its first big debut, as a Nintendo fan that freaked out when Metroid Prime 4 showed up on the screen and then vanished for 7 years, tomorrow is our reclamation day. Tomorrow we bust out of the vaults and we say, Nintendo, where have you been for 9 months? And they say, we are sorry we've been gone, but we've been hard at work. Nintendo is honestly the lifeblood of the gaming industry in many ways. They are the undercurrent that has stayed consistent, faithful, and adhered to the principles that made us love games in the first place. Whether that's back in the 80s, the 90s, or the aughts for you, Nintendo was there, I'm sure. Tomorrow is a chance for them to bring back franchises, characters, and ideas that are from the past but evolved into the future. And it could be a show that really says Nintendo is more than Mario and Zelda. Well, more than Mario and Link, really. They're DK. They're Zelda. They're Captain Falcon. They're Star Fox. They're Roy and Marth. They are a company with breadth and depth, and they're a company that's still saving their best games for Switch too. That alone is so exciting too. Whatever we get tomorrow, know that there's even better being saved for a new console in 2025. How can you not be excited? How can you not feel like this is a freaking monumental, theme park worthy day? This is like ice cream sorbet and those popsicles that are colored coming right into your mouth at the same time. You know the ones that you put in the freezer? It's water and liquid and then it gets frozen. Otter Pops? Don't bite him. Messes with my teeth and my brain. But Nintendo, June 18th, a glorious direct. One of the best of all time, and we're kicking it off early. 6 a.m. tomorrow Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, and we are going to witness absolute majesty. Do not let anyone tell you to keep your expectations in check. Do not let anyone tell you the show is bound to be disappointing. Do not let anyone tell you Nintendo is coasting. You know what's coasting? Nintendo World Championship. Oops, it's already announced. You know what's coasting? Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Oops, it's already coming out next week. The coast is over, my friends. It's now time to pedal to the metal, full steam ahead. Nintendo Switch, the glory days. Nintendo Switch, the absolute magic. Nintendo Switch, the final Switch Focus Direct. Do you think Furukawa and Miyamoto and Aonuma are going to let this thing end on a low note? Absolutely not. Tomorrow, we get Nintendo Glory. Tomorrow, we get Metroid Prime 4. Tomorrow, DK is back in our lives. And tomorrow, we witness one of the best directs of all time. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you there. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive, and stay excited. It's worth it, it's fun, and it's going to deliver. So until next time, SwitchForce out.